Hi, this is George Alger. Welcome to today's segment of Our Ventura TV. Today we're going to be speaking about healing your inner child. And joining us is author Juniper Jillian Joy. Welcome, Juniper, and can you give us a very brief description of your book?
Yes, it is a fantasy fiction fable, and it's basically my story of traveling the world for 7 years, healing my inner child. Very exciting, filled with fun and joy and science and logic and the Bible.
Awesome. And so what does this even mean, healing your inner child?
Well, the inner child is the very part of us that God is connected to, that keeps us humble as a little child, but it also brings us our joy. Without it, we have no joy and happiness. We can't love or give love or receive love without that inner child healing and connection to the self.
Good. So then what does it mean in terms of healing? And also, if something is being healed, it presumes something needs to be healed. So can you elaborate on that?
Yes. So most of us experience different types of trauma. Some of it, mine came from childhood. And unfortunately, a lot of people that we know have childhood trauma, and they don't know what to do about it. They don't know where to go to seek the help. So what happens is when your inner child, or you have inner child trauma from your childhood, it carries into your adulthood. It affects subconsciously, it absolutely affects your behavior, your decisions, your relationships, everything about you. Because by the time we're 5 years old, our self-esteem, self-worth, and self-awareness are that's the foundation of who we are. And they're developed by the age of 5. So if we see anything, we could see someone yell at someone, and to a child, that could be childhood trauma, see? And we don't know that affects us in a really interesting way, and we carry that. And that's why people have triggers, is because of trauma. So, and it's emotional trauma. And when you are emotionally affected with trauma, it affects your inner child. So you're unable to be innately who you're meant to be, which is at peace. We're meant to have peace of mind, love in our heart, and joy in every part of our life. And if we don't have those 3 things at every given second, we have inner child trauma. And that is why I wrote my book.
Very good. Now, would it be fair to equate the inner child to either our mind or soul or spirit or something like that?
Absolutely. And I know now that the inner child is the gatekeeper. It is our spirit. It is what connects us to God. So we're all part God and part man. And God is that connection. That is God's gift to us, is our inner child that just keeps us at peace. If we have any emotional trauma, anything, even something small, worry, stress, and anxiety, you have an inner child trauma going on that needs to be healed. Anyone that has that situation. So definitely the inner child is our spiritual connection, not only to ourselves, but to God.
Very good. So how do we heal this inner child?
Oh, that it's very complex, yet very simple. We have to just stay connected to ourselves by communicating to ourselves, feeling, being aware, self-awareness. So it all starts with self-awareness and that connection and the understanding of who we are. So as an example, if you know who you are, if I said to you, your hair's black, would you believe your hair's black? No, you
No.
wouldn't. See? So it's really interesting when you know yourself, no one can tell you something about you that's right for you. You have to know it within yourself. And that's what our inner child does. It's our guide to our entire life. It's the roadmap to our life. It's literally our light, our beacon of light.
Very good. So in the simple part of this, the healing one's inner child is knowing yourself. Do you
Yes.
have any tips on how one could better know oneself?
Oh, goodness gracious. Let's see. I have many, but have such a short period of time here. So one of the things I would ask people to do would be, or one of the ways to know yourself is I always I go in and I do fun stuff so that I stay connected with my inner child. And I let my inner child dress me. I'll say out loud, okay, Juniper, what do we want to wear today? So it's really fun ways to stay connected to yourself because we live in a world that's so conditioned, not only socially, but, you know, we grew up in a generationally conditioned to believe certain things about ourselves and the world around us that we have to practice every day to stay connected. And that means doing fun ways, such as you hear my dogs playing in the background, is to go in and I walk into whatever I do, what do we want to eat? What do I want to eat? What do I want to drink? What do I want to wear today? So these are things that a person could do every day to feel, and you'll get a feeling. So when you ask yourself a question and you ask it out loud, you'll get a hard yes, a hard no, or you'll get a mm-hmm. Do I want a drink of water? Mm-hmm. See, it's some very simple ways to begin to reconnect or to connect yourself in a very personal way. And then you expand it from there.
Very good. And perhaps you might be able to give us an example of how this has helped you in your own journey.
Oh my goodness, it's completely changed my life. I grew up emotionally stunted as a child. I had some significant things happen to me, and that carried over into my adulthood, which affected my decisions. And so I grew up, I didn't cry, I did not show emotion. I just felt like, I don't know, I felt like people used my kindness against me, or at least growing up in the situations that I had. And it affected how I communicated and in every relationship that I was building. And I didn't realize it until I was divorcing my very controlling narcissistic husband. And that's when I really truly realized was my daughters were being hurt by my life. My lifestyle was hurting my children, and I needed to change that, but I needed to change it for me. And I started to change that. And now, I mean, I was one of the most unhappy people I knew, very successful, but personally very, very unhappy. And now, after healing my inner child, I have peace of mind, love, and joy in every part of my life. If I don't feel those three things in everything I do not do it.
Very good. Juniper, we are just about out of time here. I wonder if you could sneak in a website that viewers could go to for more information, and if you have a summating message for the viewers.
Yes, my website is JuniperJillianJoy.com. And I would say, if there's anything about your life to your viewers, I would say, if there's anything about their life that you want to change, step out there, make that change. If you have one thing in your life you want to change, now's the time to do it.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Juniper. We're going to wrap up now.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. This is George Alger signing off for this segment of Our Ventura TV. Until we meet again.